Hello, this is Jim Bob Leach from TDI Technologies, and today I want to give you a quick preview of one of our new features in ConsoleWorks 5.3 that you might find useful. This is a license feature called log transforms, and the purpose is to allow our customers the ability to take the standard ConsoleWorks log files and be able to ship that information out to third-party sources and tools that may want to make use of the data found there. We recently had a customer that contacted us and wanted to send his ConsoleWorks log files out as Syslog messages to a collector that was going to aggregate a number of log files. And you can easily do that with the log transform feature. So we're going to walk through that today. This is just a quick preview. We're not going to explain everything, but our online help and our TDI support team can definitely answer any technical questions you have about making use of this feature. So to start with, on my ConsoleWorks invocation here, I have a standard SSH with password console that's connected to a device, a Linux device out in my network that I call Sint32. And we can open that up and you can see looks just like a standard ConsoleWorks console, and it has a log file that collects all of the information. When I connect to it, I can connect to this console and interact with it. As you can see here, navigate around, do whatever I need to do. And all of that information gets logged, but the log transform feature will allow us to send that log file elsewhere to be used by tools and potentially even other ConsoleWorks invocations. To do that, we're going to look in the navigation menu here under logs. There's a new menu item called log transforms. We'll go ahead and open that up, and you'll see I've created a log transform specifically for my Sint32 console, and so I just decided to name it Sint32. And this is a plugin based type feature, and so I've loaded a couple of different plugins. You can see those here, the text file and Syslog plugins, and we're going to be looking at the Syslog plugin to send out our log lines as Syslog messages. There's a number of configuration options. I can open up the configuration section here and specify which port I want to send it to, and also what host, where am I sending my Syslog messages. There are a number of other Syslog unique settings and properties here, but for now we're just going to take the default. We're going to send this to another ConsoleWorks invocation just because it's easy for us to set up, and obviously we can receive Syslog messages with ConsoleWorks, and that will be easy for us to see the sending of these log lines. And so that's called AT-Win 2016. I'm going to open up the log transform field set selection and explain that really quickly. I've also created a field set called Sint32 for this transform. Field sets are ways that you can define extra properties within ConsoleWorks that don't normally get contained in our log data that you may also want to package with the log lines. So you can see here, if I open up my field set, that I have specified for the console Sint32, I've selected the field nickname. So we go back to my Sint32 console over here and scroll up, you can see that I've given my, well, I have a name for my console, Sint32. I also have a nickname, Sint32-bit. It's just a little bit of extra information. You have a little bit of extra leeway in terms of adding spaces or other non-allowed characters that would be in the name. You can do that in the nickname, and I would like to include that to give my users a little bit more information when looking at the Syslog messages of this log file. So I'm going to include that field set in my transform definition, and then when I save that, that sets up the Syslog messages that will be sent to the AT-Win 2016 ConsoleWorks invocation that will be receiving these Syslog messages. So let's jump over there and see what it looks like. So in my AT-Win 2016 ConsoleWorks invocation, and you could really think of this as being any syslog receiver. Anything, any tool that can receive syslog messages would be able to receive these messages. We're just using ConsoleWorks. So this is a separate invocation than my penny invocation, and I've created a console called Sent32 penny LT for log transform. You can see that it's a Syslog Listener type, and I'll go ahead and open that up. Syslog Listener consoles are very simple. Essentially, I just specify the remote host that I'm receiving it from, or you could check the catch-all message, which would receive all syslog messages sent to this box. For now, we're only receiving the messages coming from the penny invocation. And then if I open up my log file, I can see those syslog messages. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to open up the log calendar here and click on today. And you can see, as we scroll down here, all of these are syslog messages, each one corresponding to a log line from the Sent32 log file on the penny ConsoleWorks invocation. You can see each one of those, and that corresponds to right in line with the console session that I had on the Sent32 console. And they're formatted as syslog messages. Now these messages here were from before I added the field set to my log transform. So you can see at this time, 11/16, the nickname field was added to my syslog messages, and now each log line that is received by the syslog listener also receives not just the log file message, but also the nickname for that console. And I could tack in any other amount of information that I wanted to that would be relevant to these log file lines. So I hope this gives you a little bit of a preview of the capability that we have with log transforms and the ability to take your ConsoleWorks logs and move them outside of ConsoleWorks and make them useful to other tools, to other groups, whatever the case may be. If you have questions, feel free to contact TDI support, and we'd love to help you out. Thank you.